you can even call in. So you can call on the number 0116 212 9324. So that's 0116 212 9324. And you can also text us in either on WhatsApp or just normal text with the number 07450 I think we've got a few people. We have Sarah who's joined. Salam alaikum. And some other people. So, salam alaikum. How are you, Sarah? Inshallah, we're going to be carrying on with what we were talking about. So, we're going to be talking about modesty. Now, before I actually begin, I want to know that when you actually first hear the word modesty, what's the first thing that comes to you? Okay, so we have a few people joining. So, stay on Instagram while I conduct my show. So before we start, I kind of want to know what is your, when you hear the word modesty, so haya, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? So you're like, what are your first thoughts? Just for those of you who don't know, we are live on Instagram and Snapchat, and on Facebook, so you guys can join us on that. So I want to know, like, when you first hear the word modesty, what do you think it includes? What's your opinions? So you guys can message in or even call us if you'd like. Now, to begin off with the actual subject, modesty, like there's a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ has said that al-haya'u shu'batun min al-iman, that haya is actually a part of faith. It's like a branch of faith. Sorry, I'm just going to read out some messages from Instagram. Salams, wa alaikum salam, Sauda. Sorry, I'm good, alhamdulillah. I rang lol. Oh, okay. Inshallah, you can ring again and then I can get through to you. There's a few other people joining. Okay. So I've got a message from Sarah saying covered and sort of from covering your body. Okay, so yeah, you could say that. We've got a message on that we've been given. Modesty, being simple, humble, real, covering the aura and akhlaq. Yeah, literally. We've got Shamin who's also joined on Facebook. So keep Facebook. We've got about, I think, 10 people on Facebook. So you can message us on Facebook, you can message us on Instagram and on the normal number. You can also ring us if you'd like. We've also got a few more people joining. We've got Shalina, assalamu alaikum. We've got Ashfaq, Manullah, so salam to you as well. So a little bit about modesty. So we did mention about how modesty is actually a part of faith. It's actually a part of, and it's like a branch of faith. So I want to know, for those of you who've just joined, what you think modesty is. What does it encompass? We've got another message. I feel like the bitter people are yours and real, like one's family, one's friends. Like I've always undermined those friends that tell me to concentrate during a lesson. I think bad of them, but in reality, they're trying to keep me on track and focused. That's even with one's family. They seem really harsh and bitter, but they do keep you on track. May Allah grant our moms and families, including sisters, a long and healthy life. Ameen. Such a beautiful topic. Jazakallah so much for that message. Yeah, I pretty much agree with what you're saying. So before, for those of you who are not aware of what we were just talking about, so before we were talking about how our company and companionship and our friends make a really big impact on the type of person we are. So I definitely agree. Sometimes it is those friends who maybe you see it as a negative way, but maybe it is those people who kind of want to keep you on track, and family. And yeah, honestly, I feel like we really need to think about the type of company that we're keeping and who's actually good for us and who isn't. So we have Shorty Sheikh that's joined us, so Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so we're talking about modesty. So we got a few messages in about what modesty actually means. So modesty, in my opinion, now nonetheless there are going to be 1,000,000,001 opinions, and that's absolutely beautiful. I love the fact how everybody has that thing of being able to say it. But my opinion about modesty is not just what you wear. And I really feel like we need to make an important note about this, because some people believe, and that's absolutely fine if that's what they want to believe. But sometimes we need to realize that, modesty is not just when somebody's wearing a scarf. Modesty is not when someone's wearing, a jubba. Some people, like for example, some people believe modesty to be where they wear the niqab. I'm just giving an example with regards to clothing. So it could either be niqab, jubba, scarf. That could be on one side, and then some other people, like with gloves, like the full thing, and then some other people will believe that actually no, it's about the way you talk, or maybe different ways. So my opinion on modesty is basically that modesty is not just what you wear, it's not just what you believe, it's kind of the way you talk. Maybe it's the way that because when you talk to people, it could either be that you're we've had a few people that are joining, Nilofa and that have joined in. So we have Akil. Okay, we have a few people that have joined in. So assalamu alaikum to all of you. So we were just talking about how. So my opinion on modesty is not just the way you dress. I feel like modesty is the way you talk, because you maybe you realize that the way that you talk to somebody will mean that Sahima has joined, so assalamu alaikum. So maybe it's either the way that you talk to somebody, so it might hurt them in a way, or maybe it's that you talk in such a way that you can ruin someone's honor and respect, like one of the listeners gave an example, so that's completely true. So maybe it could be the way that you talk, maybe it's the way that you eat, maybe it's the way that you conduct yourself, maybe with maybe gay mahram, or vice versa, and it can also mean how in the way in which that you dress. Now I was actually thinking about modesty, and I thought that modesty is literally the best gem that you can wear. Like it literally, and it's not just for males or females. We've had Musa, I probably won't be able to say this right, Katri, yeah, I'm so sorry about that. That has joined. So sometimes modesty is not just about the way that you dress. Maybe it's about the way that you conduct yourself with people, the way you are in society. We've got another message on Facebook. Modesty is a part of faith. It applies to all aspects of our life, 100%. From how much food we eat, and how much we talk to people. But I think if I were honest, in this day and age, I think modesty now means how to dress in a way that is on trend, but still keeping with our notions about faith. Inshallah, I am going to be getting into that. So yeah, I completely agree with you to what you're saying. It literally applies to every aspect of our faith. We've had Kanivo join us, so assalamu alaikum. So just I feel like the way that you conduct yourself is a really big part of society and of modesty as well. So that's something we might want to keep in mind. We've got a message saying modesty keeps you humble, 100%. Literally that's one of the best ways you can explain it. It's the best gem to wear, and it keeps you humble, that's for sure. And that's how, like, one of the messages that we got about akhlaq is literally bang on, because that's what it is. Now before we get into it, if there are people now just know that no one's going to judge you here, especially not me, because I am no one to judge, in simple words. But maybe if there's anybody out there who's finding it hard to maybe, I don't know, it could be for example, wearing a scarf, or maybe it's like just dressing modestly in general, or maybe it's that, the way that you act. I think the battery's low on the thing, so yeah. So a little bit about so if there are people out there who find it a little bit hard to maybe dress modestly, or maybe to talk modestly with people, or just generally, then you guys can message in, because I want to know what your barriers are. What's stopping you from talking modestly? What's stopping you from dressing modestly? Because I understand, especially nowadays, it's hard. I understand, because I get people who tell me that, I find it really hard to wear a scarf. My friends. Your friends? Okay. I think you're still typing. So I feel like maybe, the thing is, for example, with scarf, I don't want to go into too much detail, but I'm not going to sit here telling you it's halal, it's haram, you should be doing this, you shouldn't be doing this, but something that you already know that it's furs on you, you should be covering your hair, especially from gay mahram. We've had Suleiman Suleiman, no? Yeah, join us. So, Assalamu alaikum. So a little bit about the actual thing, like you know that it's fard, you know that you should be doing it, but sometimes I understand it's hard for you. Maybe you're not able to for whatever reason, and it's really important to kind of address those issues because although we have the issues, we kind of want to know why. Especially me, I want to know why. Maybe there's something that I'll be able to help you with. Just quickly adding in that we are live on Facebook and we're live on Instagram. And you can message us on 07450925084. So that's 07450925084. You can also ring in the studio if anybody would like to. That's 0116-212-9324. And just a reminder that you are listening to Ramadan special on 102.5 EAVA FM. So stay tuned. We've got a message. My friends, I feel like they judge the things you wear. Right. Do you know what? This actually links in with what I was talking about in the previous half of the show. Okay, so I think my friends, I feel that the way they judge me based on the things that you wear. I 100% agree. Sometimes you do get judged for what you wear, but I feel like the way that type of beliefs that you have and the beliefs that you keep, first of all, they need to be strong. Second of all, in the nicest way I can say this, if your friends are judging you, there's an issue. So we've got another message saying from Yasin Sameja, modesty starts from the heart. The heart represents us as human beings. Simple things such as smiling, saying salam, saying alhamdulillah is part of modesty. Pretty much just briefed it up. So jazakallah for that. Modesty starts from the heart. The heart represents us as human beings. Simple things such as smiling, saying salam, saying alhamdulillah is part of modesty. And that links in with what we were saying. Okay, I think we've got a caller on the line, so we're just going to answer that. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Who am I speaking to?
I'd like to keep my name anonymous if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So you may have just been listening. So in the first half we were talking about company and friends, and then in the second part, which is right now, we were just talking about modesty. So what are your opinions on each of the topics, and maybe you have some thoughts or any experiences that you might want to share. So you can go ahead.
Well, okay. Just now you were talking about modesty and what stops some people from being modest, whether that's like dressing or speaking or the way they carry themselves.
Yeah.
And in regards to speaking, one thing that I have like personal experience in is basically what stops a lot of people from speaking modestly is the people they're with and the type of people they associate themselves with.
Yeah.
So,
100%.
like, if you're like, this also links with companionship, as you were talking about earlier, and it's like basically the people you're around. If you're always around people that are always wearing or talking about modest things and just having no filter to their mouth, it's like you're just going to get used to that, and then it's going to be like a normal to you, and that's going to be like the way you talk. So really, it's really important to keep like good companionship and like righteous friends, so then you don't like get used to that, and then you notice it like when other people are speaking immodest, and then you kind of like have this hatred in your heart for it. But if you're with it, if you're in it every day, and you're with like those type of people who like speak, I don't know, swear or stuff like that, or even backfire about other people, then that's going to be normal in your heart, and you're not going to have like that feeling of, I call it guilt or hatred for it in your heart. And that's like one of the barriers that actually stop people. For me, that was one barrier for me. Like for me, before, I don't even go into details, but back in the days when I used to have like friends from all around the place, and I didn't care who they were, because actually, you find with people these days, yeah, that when your parents say that, oh, be with good people and stuff like that, you think to yourself that, oh wait, I'm actually a strong person, or like just because my friend does this or that doesn't mean I'm going to do this or that. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to get influenced that easily. We all think that at some point,
Yeah.
But actually,
so
yeah. But actually, I mean, when you're with like certain type of people, and you're with them every single day, or you meet them all the time, and that's the people you talk to on the internet as well. Like you just get used to it, and then you just like and you don't want to stand out and be the other person, and you just like try to fit in with them, and so you start to like behave like them, just like them. So we just like so actually influence is like actually a real
A
thing,
really big, yeah, a really big part of it. And I completely agree with what
Aywa.
you're saying, because just on the thing about swearing and like the way that you're just explaining
Mhm.
it, it's really true,
Mhm.
because it's something that you, like we were saying, that it kind of like means that you end up picking up small habits from your friends
So,
that are around you, and those little habits are the ones that grow, and then they kind of develop into
yeah,
bigger things.
yeah.
And like they say,
First,
like,
yeah.
sorry, what were you saying?
Sorry. Yeah, like first day, one thing mom used to tell me when I was younger was like, first day, you might be at surprised at what your friend does, right? You might
Yeah,
be like, oh, wait. Second day, you'll be like, okay, wow, that's what she does.
it's
Third day,
normal,
you're just
yeah.
going to join them, just going to join in with them, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
actually,
no.
wallahi, having righteous friends is like really, really important. Like,
Yeah.
wallahi, like it's been 2 years right now that I've been basically cutting down on my friends and, filtering them out, like which was the good ones, which was the bad ones. Like when I say this, I don't mean like cutting out people of my life. I
Yeah.
don't mean that. I don't mean like I don't know, not talking to your sisters or in Islam and or like cutting them out as in like hating them or stuff like that. I just mean like decreasing your time with them,
Mm-hmm.
and spending like because wallahi, thing is yeah. Let's say for example, so if your friends are not the type of friends that tell you, oh, Sabiha, it's time for Dhuhr, let's go pray.
Yeah.
Or if they're not the type of friends that say, yeah, don't talk about that person, they're not here, that's backbiting.
Hmm.
If your friends are not those type of friends, then, when you slip up at some point, who's gonna stop you? Who's gonna be like, oh, hey,
There's no one gonna be there for
fix
you.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all of us need that reality check. No one is
Yeah.
perfect. No
Yeah.
one is
It's so
like,
true. Yeah.
free from the whispers of the shaitan.
Yeah.
So,
No.
wallahi, having righteous friends keeps you on track and it keeps them on track as well.
Yeah. No.
So,
It's
yes,
true. Definitely.
jazakallah khair, wallahi, for talking about these topics because
Oh
they
no,
mean a lot.
no, it's okay. It's just I feel like, especially like as young people. That's why one of the reasons I wanted to do the youth show is because
Aywa.
I feel like as a young person myself, I kind of
Hmm.
understand the things that people are going through, and sometimes it's important to kind of address issues, because if you don't address it, it's gonna kind
That's
of
so
get
true.
buried day in day out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
actually agree with what you're saying, because obviously, like, if you do have bad friends, I wouldn't say just to completely cut them off. I think
Yeah.
maybe just if you can help them, if you're strong enough, like you were saying, if you're strong enough, then yeah, you can. But if you don't feel you're strong enough, then that doesn't mean that you need to put yourself at stake. So definitely agree with what you were saying. So what do you think about the topic of modesty? Have you got any opinions, or was that?
Modesty, wallahi, just as you said, it comes in different forms, it comes in different types, not just the way you dress. It's also the way you
Yeah.
talk, it's the way you carry yourself.
Hmm.
And it's the way you, treat other people,
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just talking about your friends, I'm talking about, like, literally any other people.
Yeah.
So even, like, your enemy comes to you, like, someone that you don't like, or, you had a past with each other, like, just
Yeah.
having that smile on your face and just saying, Assalamu alaikum, as you walk past them.
Yeah.
Like, not having that hatred in your heart, just
Yeah.
being really free
Yeah, just
in
be
that
clean in
sense.
your heart, and always
Anyway,
forgive and forget, because
anyway.
there's no point really holding grudges and stuff, to be honest. It's just
Yeah.
really petty in
But,
my opinion. Like for me, yeah, I don't talk
yeah.
to many people, but that doesn't mean I have hatred. Like I've just learnt to, one thing I always say at home is like, just life goes on, because it really does. It's reality that life will go on whether you want it to or not, and it's something that you need to kind of like realize that your life's going to go on. So there's no point you staying at a standstill, if that makes sense. So yeah,
Yeah, and
just
just like every time, like at night when going to sleep, just cleaning your heart and then like
yeah,
letting
it's really
go
really
of
important.
everything and forgiving and forgetting.
Yeah.
It's really one thing that just frees you and it gives you that
Big,
sense of freedom. Yeah, and if they talk behind your back or they still don't like you, that's up to them.
yeah,
That's them destroying it themselves,
yeah,
and you're just like being free from it. Wallah, it just give you a sense of tranquility and
yeah,
it's really peaceful.
yeah,
But the thing is, yeah, when you were speaking about friendship and you were talking about, being a person out and not, trying to change just to fit in with people, being fake.
yeah.
I wanted to add on one hadith. The Prophet ﷺ said, Islam began as something strange and it will revert to being strange as it began. To
Mm-hmm.
give glad tidings to strangers.
Yeah.
Even, yani, when you're practicing practicing your deen, yeah, or you start to practice your deen, and you start to change your surroundings, the environment, the people around you, and you start to like, go in a different direction.
Yeah.
You will notice that you're gonna be like a full thumb sticking out, and and people are gonna look at you, make jokes out of you, and but like the thing is, yeah, that's just Islam.
Yeah.
It came as strange. So why just try to fit in, or why try to change yourself to fit in?
True.
The thing is, yeah, one thing I found out is, yeah, you're only true to yourself at most when you're practicing your deen, like publicly. That's when
Yeah.
you're like, this is me, this is who I am. I don't care whether you accept it or not.
Yeah.
This is me, and there's nothing more beautiful than that. Seriously, it's like, that iman, and that what you call it, being that strong in your deen is just really something we should all look forward to.
Yeah, inshallah. Jazakallah so much for your call.
Yeah.
Jazakallah so much. So,
About
that was a lovely sister who was just explaining her opinion, which was really, really beautiful. Just quickly catching up on the messages. I don't know where Instagram's gone. So there's a few messages saying, I think Instagram is the worst platform of our time. This is portraying how you should be, what kind of image you should, adding pressure because society expects you to be a certain way. Inshallah, I am going to be talking about social media maybe next week. So you now have a lot of modest hijabi influencers who don't really show any. It's not just the outer, it's also the inner. You see them dancing to music or using profanities. These are the sort of people our youth are looking up to, and it's really sad. Inshallah, I am going to be discussing, you know, modest hijabi influencers and stuff like that. There are people who are positive. So inshallah, we are going to be talking about that maybe in the next week. So do stay tuned in for that, so you can hear a little bit about that. Now, just wrapping up. Salam sister, great talk so far. What is the Instagram account? I can't seem to find it. And then, okay, Jazakallah. It is Ramadan.fm on both Instagram and on Facebook. Such a beautiful. Oh, that's annoying. People wear the full gear, but they wear it as an accessory, not to be rude, but they are rude, snappy, and you don't want to approach them. You get taught to not wear skin tight clothing, but their abayas are worse. Do you agree? It's better just to wear normal clothing. What's the balance? Right. Okay. So a little bit about that. Now, I'm not gonna say that it's if people are trying to wear the full shebang, so they're wearing their jibba, the abaya, the scarf, and everything. I feel we need to obviously accept it that that's what they want to wear. Now, if they wear it tight or loose, at the end of the day, my opinion on that, since you've asked, is I don't know if I exactly agree, because if they want to wear it, that's fine. But I understand where you're coming from, because you rather want to see modest clothing that's loose fitting rather than something that's really, really tight, but it's supposed to be religious. So based on that, one thing I am going to say is I feel like we shouldn't judge. So, sometimes like one thing you realize is those people who are like, I remember actually it was a quote that those gifts that are so valuable are normally presented unwrapped, and those that are not exactly of that much value are normally presented with a lot of wrapping paper on it. So just a little bit, definitely agree with the part how you're saying it depends on your inwards, not your outwards. But I feel it depends on all aspects. Now, to be honest, we haven't got that much time, so sometimes. I understand that it's hot, especially now it's summer and stuff. So one thing I do want to say is maybe we can try, maybe for those of us who are wearing short sleeves, maybe we can turn to long sleeves. Maybe for those of us who are wearing really, really tight, maybe leggings from top to bottom, maybe we can just change it a little bit, change it to like maybe slim leg trousers or something. I think especially just in this month, it's the best time to sort of get that change and maybe try and implement it. Especially now you have like loads of stores online, even here in Leicester, everywhere pretty much where you go. Inshallah, we're gonna be I'm probably gonna be going, but one thing I do want to say is maybe we can do like a Friday Muslim modest little group or something, right? I haven't thought of the name, but maybe like a FMM, like a Friday Muslim modest group type. So basically, where maybe, because like for example, tomorrow's Friday, so maybe try wearing something a little bit more modest for tomorrow. But inshallah, I've run out of time. But Jazakallah so much for listening. This is Radio Ramadan, EVA 102.5 FM. Salam alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. You're here with myself, Sister Amrin, on EVA FM. We're on a Ramadan special, EVA FM. And I'm joined here today in the studio by brother Mohammed Sidat from Academic and Mentoring. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah. How's your Ramadan going, brother?
Alhamdulillah, it's fantastic this year. Yeah, it's been nice weather as well.
Alhamdulillah.
So it's not been too hot, but alhamdulillah. Good,
Alhamdulillah,
good.
we're going past the first 10 days.
Alhamdulillah.
So alhamdulillah, we're starting feeling the benefits, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, so before we go into the interview, I'm just going to introduce our brother Mohammed. So his name is Mohammed Sadat. He's from Academic and Mentoring. He has a BA, MA, PGCE, QTS, NPQ, and is a CEO and Director of Education. He's a Senior Education Consultant, CPD Trainer, a coach, a mentor, a Cambridge Examiner, and teacher trainer across the UK and the Middle East. And mashallah, he's a Hafiz and Qari and Alim. He has over 20 years' experience in academia, education, business, charity, and the fundraising sector, and leadership of principals in schools in 4 countries. Alhamdulillah. So, let's get started then. So,
It's quite a mouthful.